All right. Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, September 2nd. Happy Labor Day, everybody. And here we're going to talk about treasure games. I had to pull this t shirt out of the old closet because I think we made this for the Blackbeard hunt back in the day, or I made it. Uh, thought I'd blow the dust off it and put it back on for. We're going to talk about the treasure games, millions of dollars, question mark. It sounds legit. At least I think it's legit. They have some winners and stuff. But Lady Di is here. Thank you for being on. She has actually participated. Me and Capro have not actually bought into this treasure hunt, so we wanted somebody's take on what they thought of it. And then Capro is going to take it away because really what we want is a list of questions, right, for the creator of treasure games. And then we're going to have him on at a future show. We hope that he can answer these questions. Take it away, Capro.
Yeah, so this one, several of you have sent me in the past few months. I went to their YouTube and they had like 10 or 15 views. I took a link from a news report that was incorrect and went to a wrong website, and they never got back to me. So this one I was a little worried about. Like, is it legit? Is it not? Why do they only have a handful of views on their videos? But I mentioned this, I think 2 shows ago or 3 shows ago, and a lot of you have been participating, and a lot of you have opinions. Some of you are skeptics. So I decided to contact the creator. This was just before the JCB video came out, and there's been a lot of activity on that. He followed up several times, so and I got some time with him. And so what we have planned to do is, one, go over what we know from you all. And Lady Di is going to be kind of our, because she's actually done it. So if I get something wrong, Mike's going to go over the website. We're going to kind of go over that. And then I have some questions I already asked. Dirk is his name. He's the originator. We're going to go over that. And then I am going to be working with him offline on either a non-live interview or live interview for next week. Circling back, I'm hoping we can circle back that quick, because we're going to put a list of questions together, and I'm going to be able to interview him with a lot more intelligent questions than me not having participated and things like that. So that is our that's our plan for today. Yeah. And then Lady Di, why don't you introduce yourself? We know you from Discord, but who are you and what have you participated? Because there's been several of them. Have you participated in all of them and that sort of thing?
Hi there. I've been treasure hunting for a few years in different ones. I think I started in the secret a few years back, and I've just kind of gotten into the world of the various ones. I'm a big fan of boots on the ground if they're somewhat local, but also like the armchair ones too, of course. But this one I started following, I think, back in December. I didn't actually subscribe up front though. I was like, kind of observe, let me look, watch the news and see kind of how this goes. But certainly the free stuff at the beginning was nice, right? Because you could go in and kind of noodle around and get the info that way too, which is nice. So I think I finally subscribed a couple months ago and really started jumping into the understanding the clues and the methodology, hoping that my region would open up soon. So that's really why I did it, more for the experience now till they get to my region in the future. So.
Did you participate in the Carolina one? Because I know there's some question marks on that one of what happened and all that.
Did you? I was not as active on that one. Yeah. Okay. So that one I just really kind of watched the clues and sort of, how often they posted the clues and things like that. But I didn't really map it out and buy the advantage clues and all that at that point.
Okay. And we'll talk. That's actually one of the questions that somebody's given me is what really happened? Because did it get washed out? And if it was washed out, would it not be in that location? Somebody sent me their, they said their proximity clue, or you're going to know this better. The advantage clue was actually they got a green in a different area, and so they're concerned. And so those are questions already on my list for Dirk, but you can help us as when we get to that part. So
all right, do we want to jump into the website?
We do.
All right, let me show it here and we'll just kind of go through it. So what first thing I noticed is this is actually an app like for your phone, right? Which I think is interesting. Okay, treasure games. The website is treasuregames.fun because it's fun, obviously. Treasuregames.fun. Find the lamp, change your life. You can do a free trial. I'm not sure how long that lasts, but it says you can join or you can do a free trial. How it works: solve the clues, find the lamp, win the prize. Let's see. Nationwide treasure hunting game. So I think this is just one of their games. I think maybe the wish lamps. Maybe they have other ones planned. We give players an opportunity to find real treasure in the real world and win life-changing prizes and money all year long. There it is. Wish lamps is the first game we are releasing. We have developed more original and fun treasure hunting games that will soon follow. We will be starting in the US and then quickly rolling out our games around the world. So they're ambitious for sure. A percentage of all profits will be invested in people that are working to make the world better for all. Well, profits, I mean, they're giving away $1 million. I wonder at some point, though, maybe they could become profitable, I guess. What do you think, Kate, bro?
Well, I asked him how many subscribers, or maybe he just told me. They have hit 20,000 subscribers right now. So that's 20,000 people that are paying, what is it, $8.99 a month plus additional clues. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, he's got a proof of concept if he has 20K. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's well, wait, you said 200,000 players?
No, 20,000.
20,000. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get to all right. 20,000 times basically $9. Yeah. All right. 18. Do I have that right? Anyway. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit of money. Not $1 million.
It's a month. That's about 200,000, right?
A month. Yeah, right. So for the year, that is actually $1 million for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, or more. So maybe he is actually making some money. Okay. So these are the different regions. I know some have already been found, right? And I know just started. Region 1 just started, and there's another region. Oh, right here. Region 1 and Region 4. Region 4 has been open since August 1st, so it's been open a month. These are $200,000 prizes. Region 1 just started yesterday, and Region 1 is up here all the way up to Alaska. So
wait, where's Region 4? What's Region 4? It's open.
Region 4 is right here, Michigan. There we go, right there in the Great Lakes states. And that's been going on for a month. So apparently nobody's found it yet. So no, actually I can't click.
Andy Putnam says Region 4 here.
All right.
Well, and the one thing I want to clarify up front is I did ask him, because some people were even nervous talking about the hunt at all because you can get disqualified. And he clarified to me, there's clues inside the platform. He doesn't want that screen captured and sent, publicly on social media. But us discussing the hunt, us saying, I'm going to get it, I solved it, or whatever, all of this discussion, he encourages. So those of you that are nervous about if I say I'm working on it, I can get disqualified, that is not his intent. His intent is, if your team's working on it and excited, word of mouth is a great marketing tool, if you will. The thing he didn't want is, somebody to take all the clues, put them up somewhere, and then somebody that's not even participating in the hunt, has an advantage kind of thing. So I did want to clarify that.
Well, first, I think let's talk about him. I mean, obviously, when somebody says, I'm going to do a treasure hunt, there's $1 million prize. Do they have the money? Does the guy look legit? So what do you know of him, Lady Di, or what do you think, Kate Brooks? I know you talked to him.
I have a bunch from him, but I'm interested in what the kind of average person that hasn't gotten some time with him, what do you know about him, Lady Di? Why did you think this seems it could be legit?
Well, I think for me, his videos that he posted about who he was and how he put this all together, I thought at the beginning were very interesting, but it wasn't until I heard about somebody actually winning that I'm like, okay, now I understand how it works, and, watching it play through those first rounds, and I got some more comfort and confidence in what was there. So, I'm a skeptic too. So that's why I sat on the fence for so long, after using the free clues and just kind of sitting there and just kind of absorbing it and stuff. So that's, I think, really why I crossed the line and became a subscriber is, I felt like, okay, there's enough here now.
Yeah. And I checked him out. So he is an LA TV producer through his life. He retired. I put quotation fingers because he owns 2 businesses plus he's doing this venture. So he's kind of failed in retirement. He's been working kind of around the clock because now this is kind of taken off. The day that I talked to him, he had 2 other interviews that he had already done. He made the commitment to family. He's like, I have to be at the dinner table. So we didn't get as much time. I had some technical issues. But I asked him if he worked on forest fence hunt. And he said, actually, this is how I stumbled upon this. I was, when he was a TV producer, he was looking at developing a TV show around the forest fen hunt. So he did not participate in it, but that's how he got kind of stumbled upon. He didn't even know this type of community existed. Now he's really excited, but he decided, hey, I'm gonna jump in and do it myself. I did check out his IMBD. He didn't give it to me, but I did. And he does seem very legitimate, and it looks like I don't know the amount of wealth, but it looks like there is wealth behind. If you're a successful LA TV movie producer, it seems like kind of like Forrest. When we knew a little bit more about Forrest's wealth, it made it believable.
And as far as we know, this is his own money that he's putting up. It's not like he has sponsors or anything like that.
Right.
Well, there's actually a few videos. It sounds like that's where he started, but he got 2 or 3 of his friends involved. They are both financial advisors or financial investors. And I got this from one of you all. He has done some videos on YouTube, and he talks about that, like the mermaid guy. I think that's one of his I don't know if he's the investor, because I think he's the truck driver. There's another kind of just financial person. And so they're having fun doing some marketing, but it's like people he trusts. So, but he's kind of the main guy, is how he explained it to me. Like he's the person that he is dealing with people trying to hack into the site. He is dealing with responding to people when they have inquiries. He's the one, getting out there doing the interviews. So he's kind of like he's almost like he's the Forrest. And then, there's others that are helping and participating in financial investing, but, he is looking to scale up and go big. But now that they have not even advertised, now that they have put out the winners, it's like taken off. He's getting so many inquiries and things. And he sent me a whole list of them. There's tons.
So it sounds like the guy is reputable. The guy has the money and he's trying to do something. He was inspired maybe by Forrest Fenn, or just realized, hey, there's this treasure hunting community. So now let's go to the game itself. How do the clues seem? How do the rules seem? And here's one. I was just looking through the rules, and one is you have to film yourself finding the treasure if you find one. That's interesting. I guess that's proof, would one way to look at it. Interesting. And then you can also film yourself playing the game or any game-related content and upload it for chances to win additional prizes and to entertain your followers. And then it says, how do I upload content? And it says, once you subscribe, you get your own channel in the watch section where you can upload and manage your content. Is that right, Lady Di?
Yeah. It's like a social media platform on their app.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
So yeah, you can access it on the web or just through their app that they have. And, you have your own channel, and then you have other channels you can see, like there's a winners channel, more general announcements, and other various ones that they have. They're sorted by region too, which is really nice. So if you only care about region 4 or region 10, you can go right to those ones. Yeah.
So that's a social media aspect almost of people uploading videos. Okay.
And I think that's why a lot of people aren't on, like, he has such a low count. That's the reason I was a skeptic on public YouTube, but it sounds like it's all happening within the platform, which is good and bad. From a advertising and marketing standpoint, it's great to get that kind of content, but now they've taken off. So,
well, and I was one of those that only thought that that's the only place you could post anything or talk about it. Right. So I was quiet for so long because I didn't know it was okay to even talk generally, because I had actually asked that question. Can I even talk generally about the game itself? And the bot came back and said no. So then it made me really afraid to ever say anything. But they've since revised the rules a little bit more, it looks like, from looking at the recent rules.
Yeah, and I want to go over the rules, because that's what Huli was asking. Read the rules; they're pretty serious. So Mike, why don't you bring that up? So it is a pay to play. You have a monthly subscription fee. There is now, you're going to know more about this, Lady Di, than me, But so it sounds like you can also buy additional clues. And the additional clue is you drop a pin. And the intent to this was you drop a pin, and so you don't have to travel out. It would give you a radius, and it used to be just a few miles, it sounds like. Now it's 100 miles. And it basically gets you to not waste a trip if you were in the wrong location.
Exactly.
And it used to be that you could buy quite a few of those, or they were unlimited, and some people were trying to find a loophole like some searchers do. So now you can only buy one, and per
every 30-ish days. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I find one thing interesting. You only have to be 13 years of old. Seems like 13 years old to play. Seems like most of these are 18 and up, but they're saying 13 and up. So that would be a fun thing for kids maybe to play if you're in the area.
Yeah.
One of the winners was a family, which or two families.
Right. So up to right now, they've been going 7 months, and they have paid out 1.6 million. In 2 weeks, he is traveling to South Carolina to pay out the newest winner and the family. And I did watch that video. I do have some questions, detailed questions on that I want to talk about a little bit later. But you get a poem, right? These are all poem based, Lady Di?
Yeah, the first clue that comes out has been a poem for all the releases so far.
Okay.
So that's your day one is a fairly lengthy poem that supposedly has all you need in it.
And I was going to ask, for anybody that knows the solution to the one that's been found, was the poem all you needed, or do you think it was findable with just the poem, if you know?
Well, as far as I know, the solves they've showed, they've used the clues to help them narrow it down.
I just wonder how
whether they could figure it out on their own. It sounded like to me, one of them, they had a hunch, but they used the clues to verify before they went boots on the ground.
Okay.
Well, and now I'm getting some conflicting information. Do they put the solves out, Lady Di? Or do they? I've heard they only put the location, and then I heard no, they put out the whole solution. What's
well,
the
they put out the, when it's been found, they put out an alert. Hey, it's been found. We're going to verify. And then they come back and confirm the city. And then once they do the formal press announcement with who the winner is, they let the winner show their solve or talk about as much of the solve. And then they post it on the channel.
Okay. So you really can't be anonymous on this one. Right?
I don't think so. It's been known who, at least the three winners, that's been known who they are through the channel.
So they do have a free trial, and it looks like in March of this year, they changed it so that the free trial gives you access to the full access side of the platform. For a free trial, you'll have access to 10 clues per active region and all entertainment content inside our first game, Wish Lamps. The free trial does not allow you to win or upload content, but it will allow you to experience the gameplay elements and view the game. Okay, so I might try the free trial. It's free.
Well, so. And just so like one of them, I think the clues went up to 300.
Because it's 2 clues a day. Like I've watched several of the videos. I know you guys are saying watch the videos. I watched a bunch of them. I haven't watched all of them. But so it's 2 clues a day. Do they do one in the morning, one in the evening? What does that look like?
It varies. At least when it comes through on my app and stuff, it varies. Sometimes they're both in the morning. Sometimes the first one comes out at noon and then another one at 4. So it's been, for me anyway, all over the map.
Yeah, Kartar says, watch the videos, K-Pro.
I know. Right.
I'm going to do the free trial. We'll check it out this week, especially since the new region opened up that, is just north of us, north of Nevada. It wouldn't be impossible for us to go boots on the ground. So
I'll go boots on the ground anyway.
I don't know about going to Alaska, but if it's lower than that, maybe. But then again, it's $200,000. If you really thought you knew where it was, you might as well go make the trip, right?
Yeah. I'll travel anywhere. I'll get on a plane. If it's like for sure the spot and you've done the advantage clue to say, okay, I've turned green. Yeah. And that's going to be one question. At Junkyard Dog, kpro3@aol.com. Send me an email. I see that you have a solution and need a boots on the ground person. So that's one of my questions is, I believe somebody on a Discord somewhere today said they have not been able to get a green. They bought it and it turned, they call it the red circle. And then there was a warning on the official Facebook page from Dirk saying you can't discuss that. Now, he didn't say what you could discuss, but some people reference that's what it was. So that's going to be one of my questions, because it seems to me saying I have a wrong location doesn't seem like sharing clues, especially when I'm not saying where it was. But if it is that strict, that's right now the users that are in this hunt. That's the thing they're the most concerned about, is by accident getting disqualified.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I
Yeah.
wonder if it's
Yeah.
happened.
How much of a clue can you talk about?
Yeah. So the GPS is
So-
not available for 140 days. Okay.
They were saying, oh, so it's pay to play. In other words, you can buy a bunch of clues. Laurel says there's only a couple of clues you can buy a hint for, but for the most part, you can solve without having to purchase anything other than a subscription, obviously. Advantage clues. Yeah, Hooley's saying you can buy advantage clues. Parts of the poem helped. Now, Junk Underdog says that GPS is not available for 140 days. You mean 14 days, Junk Underdog? I don't think the games last over a year. Do they?
So the advantage clues have levels, right? The rangefinder, I should say. So there's there's 4 different advantage clues, right? One is called the rangefinder, and the rangefinder is the red and the green circle that we're talking about. So after the first 30 days, you get the 100-mile radius advantage clue. And then after, I think the next one, they just released changes on that. So I think after the next 70 days, so 60, yeah. So day 70, the next smaller range becomes available, which is a 50-mile radius. After that, it gets tighter and tighter till you get down to a 5-mile radius.
You have to purchase each one? The first one, and then the 70-day, and then every time you want
to
check.
You don't have to, but yes, if you want to.
You have an option to. You have an option. Why would you? I mean, I'm not going to go boots on the ground unless I get a green one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what was interesting, is it sounds like when it was narrowed down to either 5 to a smaller narrow circle, somebody was, and when it was unlimited, somebody was like buying, moving over, and trying to triangulate it. And
before
there was
limits.
And that was within the rules, so that's why he had to change the rules, because it sounds like that's how somebody narrowed down pretty specifically where it was. So I don't know on which one, I don't know enough, but again, since it wasn't against the rules, is there an issue there? So Mike, did you want to bring up the rules and talk to them, or do you have to be in the platform to see the rules?
No, I can bring them up. Here is I just looked up the news, and here's one from a day ago. Wait, this is Treasure Games. Let's say this isn't related to Treasure Games. So this looks like they show the poem right here. So here, let's show this real quick and go over this.
This is an old one
on the news, and a little story they did. Let's see if this is the poem. Must be the one that got solved, obviously. An alternative to the lottery, Treasure Games comes to Alaska, providing an opportunity to win with skill rather than luck. Treasure Games winner. This is the guy that won, and there's the lamp. So this is the poem from the one that got solved, I'm assuming.
Look how big that is. The other one in South Carolina was in like a army ammo box. So I mean, it's a good probably 12 inches, maybe.
I was just going to say it's in something. Yeah. It's not just a lamp. It's in a box or something.
It's usually in something.
And is it buried? Does anybody know if these are buried or not?
Some have not been now. Like I think if that's the one he from the King's Chef Diner, he found it in a box on the wall. Whereas another one found it under a bridge.
Right.
And then the other one I think was behind like a bush. So those 3 weren't buried.
His premise is pretty cool that people, play the lottery trying to be a millionaire and you're never going to win. But he's trying to do it where a lot of people could become millionaires. So since the odds of winning the lottery are low, one self-described visionary has been searching for a better way to distribute wealth. I thought to myself, a better model would be if 500 people won $1 million each instead of one person winning 500 million. I like the idea. Dirk Gibson, founder of Treasure Games, 6 years ago, was working on an idea for a TV show. The idea is that the Forrest Fenn, you think? Yes. 6 years ago? Yeah. Okay. Yep. That idea didn't become a TV show, but it has become a platform of its own, a sort of treasure hunt, pursuing the genie lamp across a certain region. Okay. This provides people a more skill-oriented approach to their winnings rather than pure luck. Does require a subscription. Okay. One day, Gibson hopes to see the subscription reduced or eliminated. Eventually, we'll have sponsors paying for all of this, and our subscription fees will go down. All right. And there it is. The game is
And-
still young. Alaska, Washington, and Oregon, all part of Region 1, which started yesterday. So there was a basic thing. Okay.
Yeah, this was a fake electrical box, is what somebody's saying in chat, and you had to open it.
It was inside here?
It was inside.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've seen the video
Okay.
of that one. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
And
And
they
I wonder
hook
how
up
long it had
cameras.
been out there before it was found, if anybody knows.
And they hook
So,
up cameras around the box too. So,
that's
you know,
cool.
not only are you supposed to be recording yourself if you're finding it,
Right.
but they have cameras and they can see who's coming up to the box, or you know, if somebody's messing with it. And I think they can even talk to them and stuff as well through that. So not only do you have the QR code when you find the box to validate, but you know, they know and they can see if, you know, something's going on with it.
So it sounds like
electrical box. Wow, that seems safe. Yeah, that
it was fake, right? That's the Colorado one, Laurel says. Okay.
Yeah.
Fake electrical box behind a restaurant. Beefaghetti says you can only narrow it down with a rangefinder to a 5-mile radius if enough time goes by. The closest you'll get is within 5 miles, or a 5-mile circle, which is still awesome. I mean, if I knew it was within 5 miles, it'd be pretty cool. Okay, here are the rules. If you guys, I'll just peruse them. It depends if you want to get the details in any.
Well, the other thing I just wanted to bring up, he also has another option. Like if you won the $200,000 one, you could also decide not to do the 200,000 and you get 3 wishes. And the 3 wishes can't go over the amount of the prize. And one of the wishes has to be a pay it forward to someone else.
You can use $1 million. You can choose $1 million cash or 3 non-cash wishes that could be up to 1.2 million.
Yeah, it's my understanding that $200,000 ones are just that, and you don't have the wishes for the smaller ones. Yeah, right. The big one, when they say it's $1 million, it'll tell you $1 million or 1.2 in 3 wishes, and you have to be specific what your wishes are. The third wish, you do have to wish something to somebody else.
Okay.
So there is a lot of legalese here with the participation agreement. You know, you got to read through all this, the code of conduct, you know, filming requirements. All subscribers must film themselves finding the treasure. Penalty process, violators. Okay, so there is a lot, the code of conduct. There is a lot to go through here. There is a safety component, which is good. We all know we need a safety component. No driving while looking at your device. Okay, bro, you need that one. Compliance and enforcement. Community guidelines, terms and services. So it's definitely a lot to really dig into, I guess, if you really wanted to dig into it. But I think what he's doing is great. It's just, I wonder how, you know, we'll see how this one's solved, the new one. I mean, I'm going to do the free trial. Hopefully I can get the poem through the free trial and kind of see what that sounds like. So, I mean, the junk underdogs, knows where it is. It's been 1 day. So I don't know. Go ahead, Kate.
Okay, I keep freezing up on my end, or you guys keep freezing up on my end.
Okay.
So if you guys, so we're going to continue to talk a little bit about, we'll talk about South Carolina, kind of what happened there. I'd love to get your point of view, Lady Di, on what happened there. But if you guys have questions, especially if you've participated, but even if you haven't, put at KPro and tell me what those questions are, because I'm going to be circling back with Dirk and going over the questions that we have. So I want to get the really good ones. I already have put the question. I don't know if he'll answer it, but I have put the question of, are there red herrings, intentional misperception or intentional red herrings? What can be shared? I really want to hone in on the disqualification, because that's probably the biggest question that I've gotten, is people really want to talk about it more, but some don't even want to say a word because they don't want to get disqualified. Why are they not putting out their solution, their interpretation of the solution? And then Carolina, what happened there, and talk to it a little bit. He'll probably defer and wait until after the press conference, but that's what I have so far.
Can you win if you just happen upon it? Well, you've got to film yourself, and I think you've got to give them an explanation of how you found it, I would assume. So no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. What do you think, Lady Di? I mean, I don't know if anybody would just happen upon it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I guess if you happen upon it, you'd be breaking the rules because you weren't already filming yourself,
right?
And familiar with the rule, that part of the rule. So, you know, yeah, you could scan the QR code on it and try try to submit, but I think you would be disqualified based on the other portion of the rule that says you have to film yourself while
Well,
filming.
and
Yeah.
that's
And you
so
have to be playing to win, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, Laurel
yeah.
points out the obvious. Yep.
yeah, and this is what I got a little confused by with the Carolina box is I'm getting some conflicting information. I was told that there was like the hurricane that went through and the box got washed to a different location. But the location is what took them specifically to that spot. And so there's been a little bit of confusion of what happened there, because she actually walks up and says, Willie's Tacos is right there. That's the end of the poem. So it should be here. We found it. And then the QR codes didn't work. It said that it was not an active genie or lamp. Sorry, I keep saying genie lamp. Not an active lamp. And so hopefully he'll explain that. But he's saying there's nothing nefarious. It is a family that found it. They were filming like they were supposed to. And actually the QR code wasn't working. And he's like, but I have to film. She's like, okay, let me turn mine on. And then you can, because she thought it was something wrong with their phone. So they were going back and forth about it. So, but that whole Carolina thing, what happened, someone did send me their finder or their circle range finder. They got green and it wasn't in the area that was found. So I want to show him that and just say, was this a quirk in the system? Because I haven't been able to, anyway, that's the list I have so far. So what have you heard about this Carolina? Is there controversy? Is it just kind of poor sports, or what's the deal with it?
I don't know about I've heard about the green range finder issue, but I don't really know beyond that what the facts are there. I do recall, I remember watching the video too about her saying the QR code's not working. Let's switch phones and see if that.
Yeah.
And then I think somewhere along the way, and I don't know if this is fact, that they said, well, it was from a prior hunt potentially. And the QR codes stickers got mixed up or something, but that's why they still validated. That would be a good question to ask him if that was the case, if it was a matter of when they stickered the box, they put the wrong one on there.
So within the app, there's a video explaining it. Okay. We just don't have access to it.
Hopefully
so maybe
we will with the free trial. So
yeah, there you go. It was a flood, box fell out, then it rained and barely covered it in silt. Okay, so it didn't move locations, like it wasn't in. So then that would not explain why the person who sent me their rangefinder, they were in the green and they were not in the area it was found, which just
how close were they, I wonder, to the circle?
Well, their circle was like the place it was found. They showed me their circle and they were green, and it was not in the circle. It was like I don't know what
there's also conditions too, because there's a 5-mile radius that the rangefinder, around the box. And then if you're using, say, the 50-mile and it's, touching, or not quite touching, right there, it could trigger something like that too. So there's a couple of different scenarios that are described in the website that explain in the I forget where it's at in the rule set, I believe, of how the rangefinder works. And then it shows you those specific examples. So that's probably where you want to, compare what you received, and then look at those examples and see if that's maybe what was happening there.
So Beefagetti says the search area and the rangefinder have changed. The search area is now a 10-mile radius, but the rangefinder will only be green for a larger radius. So yeah, it sounds like there's two different things going on. So again, read the rules, everybody. I mean, if you're in there playing,
a little complicated. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And Huli asked, did the people get their prize? What he told me is they do a big pomp and circumstance press, all of that. That's happening in 2 weeks. He'll meet the family. So it sounds like, yes, it is. That's why he told me to date, they've only paid out 1.6 million, because they have not paid that one out yet, because 2 weeks is when he's going to get all the press there and do the pomp and circumstance kind of celebration. So they have not paid out yet, but it is scheduled. It is working through the process of getting there. So it's not like it's kind of like the lottery. They do all the verifications and press and all of that stuff. And so it's in work right now. So
Where's the D&D sequel? Well, I'll see if I can talk K-Pro into playing again.
Oh my gosh, the boys played for hours and hours
Yeah,
and
we played
hours
it,
last
but I
night.
didn't film it because she said it wasn't great. I got to come up with a different way to film it. That's all. Okay, Laurel with clarification says Cowlazars, the rangefinder gets you to the 10-mile radius. You can intersect the corner of the 5-mile and still get green. The rangefinder gets you in the 10-mile radius. You can intersect the corner of the 5-mile and still get green. Okay, not sure. But if you're, so you could be, the treasure could be within the 10-mile, but if you don't intersect it, if you're not within 5, you don't get green. That's what I'm a little unclear on. But maybe when I join the free trial, I can read up on it and see.
Okay.
All right. Interesting. I like that they have a rangefinder. That's kind of cool instead of you just going boots on the ground everywhere.
And that was one thing I talked to him about. Like he knows that there's some bumps in the system right now between the QR and, kind of working through it. Because I told him, like Mike and I have done about 10, 12 hunts, and they've all been baby ones. One day we want to do a bigger one. And he's like, I could have done it that way, but I'm paying stuff. Like people did find the loophole of the rangefinder and things. He's like, but I pay out. So I'm going to learn as I go because he wants it to get so big. So that's where sometimes there's oopsies or problems, but it doesn't mean like some people are saying, oh, it's a scam, that QR code didn't work. No, he's had some issues. He's had some bumps. He's open and honest about it and says, but I'm paying out. Like I do know JCB is saying the largest national treasure hunt. That was the case until January. They've already paid out 1.6. They're paying out another 1.2 in another week.
It's a big oopsie to figure out, but if he's paying out the money, good for him. As long as he's not looking for a reason to not pay it, then he's working the bugs out. So, okay. Yeah, you got me more confused, Laurel. So I'm not sure if you can clarify it or not. I'll have to get in with the free trial and read it myself and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah.
But the rangefinder cannot be used till after 30 days. Is that right? Lady Di, 30 days? Okay. So we got a whole month to wait before people can start using the range.
From day one. Yep.
If it's not found by then, I guess. All right. Well, it looks legit. It just looks like he's working it out as he goes. So, actually, this is bigger than JCB's hunt money wise. He's giving out more. Millions upon millions, but JCB's is just 5. It sounds like this guy is just going to keep going. So we'll see.
Right. So this is definitely, we have 2 very large amusement park rides that have opened, or, one's opening, one is already opened. And so it's up to this point, I thought Blackbeard was pretty easy to see that it was not legitimate. This one, I was on the skeptical because of the YouTube counts, and I had some issues with the contact us page. That has been corrected. And so it's moving to me. And actually, after talking with Dirk, and checking him out a little bit, not into his personal life or anything, but enough to know that he has some wealth to be able to do this. He has partners. To me, it seems more legitimate than I ever thought before. Like I'd participate. I wouldn't have participated in Blackbeard. And so for me, it's passing that threshold test. But also there's a few things that I want to circle back with some people that have been less than satisfied. I do think there's probably an honest, that was a quirk in the system or something, which is unfortunate. But I do want to circle back on their behalf. So what questions do you guys have? Lady Di, if you were to ask, it sounds like you ask them and then you get answers. Is there something specific that you would want to ask, like today, if you were sitting in front of Dirk?
I think that for me, being an awkward social media person, right, the idea of having to film myself if I go boots on the ground, and that whole thing is a bit daunting. And I understand why he wants that, right, for that element. It's going to give some realness to it and all of that. But, I wish there was another way around that piece, but, I understand why he's doing it. I would probably ask a question of why he went down that path. Was it more just the social media aspect of it, or was it to really validate the find, absent any other possible way to do it? So that would be my big one for those of us that don't like to go on camera a whole lot. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, and especially when it's 1.2 million, like I will tell you, don't worry, I will not reveal who you are, but I know a searcher that hit the lottery. and he does not want anyone to know that he hit the lottery because
Yeah.
it gets a little scary when you win a lot of money.
Right.
And he told me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to share it next show, but no, congratulations to that person. You deserve it. But it's, it is a little bit, look at the Force Fen hunt and things when you talk about that $1 million prize. So that one's a little quirky to me, but there's a reason. That's his rule, his hunt, his rules kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I'm going to add that to the list.
We got somebody, Miss Maple, that's trying to join, but they don't have a audio device. You got to set that up. It won't let you join if you don't have your audio and your webcam connected first. So sorry, Miss Maple. They must have got the link, obviously, but they can't. It won't let me add them because they can't.
Oh.
Yeah, so disconnect and try and, you got to have the audio. I think in StreamYard you can select the audio or the webcam. So we'll see if they're able to join or not.
Okay.
Hopefully they can.
I think one other question I have too is teams, with respect to teams, right? So some of us that have in the past gone it alone and are now like looking for a teammate and stuff, or, I have somebody I'm working with now, but, that there's no registration of teams. And so I'm kind of curious what his thought process there is. Will he have a revisement of that in the future? Or, is it still going to kind of be per subscriber in terms of getting those advantage clues? Because if you're just a single person, I only get, one advantage clue every 30 days. Somebody that's a team, each of them as subscribers, each get an advantage clue, right? So technically, you're teaming up with somebody, which is a great social media aspect of it. But at the same time, not all of us can always necessarily get a partner at any one time. So, there's that trade-off aspect of it. So I'm just kind of curious if he's going to give any thought to team registrations or anything like that in the future.
Yeah. Okay. I will ask him about that.
I have is when is Region 6 going to go active? Because that's California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah. So that's right there.
I asked about that one. He said soon.
Okay.
He said details are being worked out. It's soon. But I also know they're getting ready to do the Florida region. What is that number?
Region 10.
10. Yeah. It sounds like they're going to have that region, the second one of that one, going sooner than they will to get to the West region, so to speak. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Huli, I wrote down your question, so let me just make sure. I'm going to ask it in two parts. Is one, saying that you went green or went red, is that up for disqualification? That's one. And the second is, I know some people were saying, like, if I shared, here is the poem on our Discord channel and put it up there, does that disqualify everyone in the Discord? Which I would say, obviously, no. Some people were like, clarify, because we think if we engage with someone or somewhere that does something naughty like that, inadvertently or not, would there be an issue? So there's a ton of questions around disqualification, which I think is super interesting because people don't want to be disqualified inadvertently. So Huli, if those two questions cover what you were asking, we're good. If there's any other questions, let me know. Yeah. The poem, poem. Candy's saying there's no poem with the trial.
Right. But then Laurel said the poem is clue number 1. So Candy, do you see a clue number 1 with the trial or no? To see. I'm still going to do the free trial and check it out eventually.
Yeah, but it is a good question about limitations because, and here's the other thing. I know on the invitation, some people team up, some people have divorced their team, some people reconnect with other teams, but it does give an advantage to team play. I know when we talked, he said the idea is like if you and your family are doing it, share amongst yourselves, no problem. Or if you're working with somebody, but just don't share it for everyone, so then they don't have to buy in and they kind of game the system, if you will. Please.
And when you join, you get access to both regions or whatever regions are live. You get access to all of it. Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
That's good. All right. So there's 2 active ones right now.
And you can subscribe to each region. So if there's a region you don't care about, you don't have to subscribe and get all the clues and all that.
And you don't pay more for that. You get it all one price.
Everything is all one price. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see BJB 5260. I will ask about, can you tell us what region, do you have a timeline of which regions are coming up and what order they're going in and approximately Q1 2025, not like any particular date, but can he give us kind of a rough plan that maybe he'll change? Maybe he won't, but hey, it's not going to hurt to ask. So BJB 5060 or 5260, I've put that question on the list. So regions and order and all of that.
All right. Well, seems legit. Hopefully one of our viewers finds one of these damn things like Lady Di and then come on the show and tell us all about it. Yeah.
I do love the idea. I don't like that it's required, but I do love the idea. I'm going to throw back to Jana from Minnesota. She won a particular hunt and her husband filmed her and she was screaming. And it was like, that's the money shot. It's so awesome to watch. So it is exciting indeed. But I will say the Carolina one, because she didn't know she won. She's like, let's just take this and go. It was a little like, I felt bad for her. So, but yeah, it sounds like, I mean, he's definitely having some bumps, but he's working through them and he's doing it kind of, I took him at a bigger level. Like, do you guys remember Tammy that was going to do a hunt in every state?
Yeah.
After we talked to her, she seemed so sincere. After talking with him, he seems that way. It seems like he wants to do something, give back, do something in his twilight, failing retirement. And this has taken up a huge amount of time for him. So anyway, that's my take so far. But if you have issues, tell me about them. I will be conversing with him. He may come on live, or we may do it where we can't work it where it's live, but we'll get it all out there for you. So other questions, anybody else? And then we'll tell you our plan. Type them in the chat if you have any questions. Lady Di, did you have any other questions?
Does the poem, do you got a location from the poem at all or no?
For region 1, I have some possibilities. Yeah. Okay. I love the poems, by the way. So when you see the poems, they do I think personally phenomenal job in the writing. You know, they have themes to them. So I think when you sign up and you see region 1, you'll love it.
Okay. I mean, I'll have to check it out. We may have to pay the subscription, K-Pro. We may just have to bite the bullet and do it.
$8.99. I don't know. That's going to be a comic book you can't get.
Easy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our plan. We were going to go live Thursday, but guess what? It's the first NFL game, and
football is back, baby.
Yeah, so Mike and I, we really need to talk about, because we moved our show before. Because so do we move to Tuesday nights? If you guys,
gotcha. We'll have to think about that. Yeah, I remember there was a Lions game that was Thursday, and we were like, "Oh, we got to move it," and then we thought, "Oh, then we didn't move it." So we'll talk about it.
Yeah, there's nobody else to work around. Nobody else is like scheduled every week, kind of thing. So we may move to Tuesday nights. We don't want to do it Wednesdays because Mike has the boys every other Wednesday. We don't want to do it Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that kind of narrows us down to either Tuesday or Wednesday. If you guys, that narrows us down to Tuesday or Tuesday. So if you guys want to see us move to not bump into NFL Monday Night Football, Mike and I are going to be in a football pool this year. So.
You locked up, or at least for me. Did she lock up for you, Lady Di? Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Everything turned up. Black circles. So if you have opinions, put them. We know you guys have opinions, so put them in Discord. I will tell you, we got a notification from Discord that we have seen a spike in our Discord where they alerted us. Our Discord has rocked since the stuff came out with JCB. Lots of people working on Xavier Marks, some people working on the invitation. The JCB stuff, we have reorganized it, so we're organized up front. Please join us on Discord. That's where a lot of the discussion, and I think there was 4 speakeasies last week. So things are a little bit on fire right now for the treasure hunting amusement park.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. There's a Friday night game this week too. Packers Eagles play Friday night. All right. Football's back. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Join the Discord. Let's talk about it. I guess we can't share any clues or the poem, but at least we could talk about what you guys think of the hunt and that kind of thing. Treasuregames.fun. Check it out. And then also, if you don't know, I made a little short video earlier this morning about a new treasure hunt coming out on October 4th. So, yeah, there's all kinds of things happening in October for the Treasure Hunt Amusement Park. So, good times.
Yeah, 2024 is going to be a big one for us. And we've been waiting long enough because the Forest Fence stuff is kind of going into the background, even though we do have Netflix coming up. So there's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot happening. Some of you guys have already asked me about WSOF for next year. We just found out Mike, the other Mike, Manchester, our main contact has been promoted and moved on. So we have a new contact and we're going to work out dates very soon. I think we're going to go back to between the Pro Bowl and
February.
Super Bowl. Yeah. But yeah.
It's only 5 months away, actually, if we do go back to February. So we'll figure it out, everybody.
Okay, last thing, DB CooperCon, you know him, you love him. Packer Jack is it's dbcooperevents.com. The schedule is live as of right now. He just messaged me 10 seconds ago. So if you are thinking about going to DB CooperCon, Packer and two other people very known in the community, Chris and Ryan, they set up an LLC. They are getting some incredible people. Please check it out because I'm going to try to convince Mike. I have to go up there because I have to go pick up the genie lamp or the wish lamp. So,
anyway. Any more invitation hints? Well, October 1st is the 6-month anniversary for the invitation, which is right here in Clark County. So, yeah, we're definitely going to do something. We'll see what me and Kate will come up with. Yes, we'll definitely do a hint or a clue or something on October 1st, the 6-month anniversary. So,
yeah. And BJB, I can tell you, I'm the most technology adverse person in the world. Discord is super easy. I prefer it over forums, over Facebook, over everything. Once you get in there, you'll see all the hunts to the left. You click on it. It takes a little bit to get into speakeasies, but I always ask Cooley or Mike to put in links when we jump into speakeasies. It is, and it has an app for your phone. It is super smooth for the people that are not great at technology. Invitation. Oh, when can we talk about the possible Morse code? That's for the new bookstore one, right?
Yeah, that's for the new one just this morning. So, yeah, we're talking about it now in Discord. They've actually posted more on Instagram since I went live today. And, that book will be available on Instagram. That book will be available on Amazon to order. Fully armchair. You email your answer. And first edition Masquerade signed by Mr. Kit Williams himself, plus some silver and some other things. So. Okay, I think that's it.
And wait, BJB asked one other question. Mm-hmm. Discord is almost like an old AOL chat room, but it also has a voice feature. No one turns on their camera. It also allows so it's almost like a Zoom plus an old AOL chat. So we have it set up by topic so people can scroll back. But sometimes things get going. And now I think our top number is about 85 in the speakeasies. Most people don't talk though. They'll type they're shy like Lady Di, and they'll type in their question, and a couple of us talk a lot. I know it's shocker who that is. But it's fun. But you can also look at all the old archives and what people are talking about.
I think we need to do a camera on speakeasy personally, but like Cooley said, everybody can be in their pajamas with some coffee. Okay, maybe down the road. All right, is that it? Any parting thoughts, Lady Di? Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving us your thoughts on the treasure hunt.
Yeah, and I'm probably not going to connect with Dirk for a few days because I'm going to give him this. He's going to review it and everything. Put in the comments if you're not watching this live if you have any question, and I will get it on the list. Thank you, Lady Di, for coming on.
You're welcome. I've been having fun with this hunt, so hopefully everybody, when you guys sign up, you enjoy it too. I think they're clever with, like I said, the poem and the clues too. So,
and that really is what it's all about, having fun. I mean, it's a subscription. You want to have fun. Yeah. It's a hobby. Even if you don't find the
puzzles. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We probably are not going to go live Thursday. We will be live again in a week on Monday, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. Maybe we'll get some updates from JCB or other treasure hunts. We'll see. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. We are slowly going up in subscriber numbers, which once we hit 5,000, I think that will help getting the word out on these treasure hunts. You'd be surprised how many people are like, "What a treasure hunt. What's that? Like, they just don't understand that there's this money up for grabs with these books and these puzzles. They just never heard of it, or they just don't believe. They don't believe any of it's real, but we know it's real. We know about the Treasure Hunt Amusement Park. So make sure you subscribe and thumbs up the video, and we'll see you next time. Anything else, K-Pro?
That's it. I'm getting lots of messages. I will go boots on the ground, but we need to talk. Do not send me your solve, anyone, because there's a couple people that have asked me to go boots on the ground for them, and I don't want someone to say I took the. Let's talk first. Do not send me your solve until we talk.
All right. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming on, Lady Di. Thanks. Bye, everybody.